prey to the enemy again. Judas don't ever have to speak in your ear ever again. Because now you're mixed with my blood and you're part of my family. And we defied him. If you keep watching and stay with me, I'm going to be somewhere and you can be there too. And I said in the end that this was the day of preparation. This was known as during the Passover. How ironic is it that during the Passover you have to take out all the unleavened items out of the house. You have to take them outside. They can't stay inside. Jesus said, this is going to be good. Because by the third day, I'm going to be the only bread with the ability to rise. My God. So here he is. And they say there was a garden with a new tomb. He was also a seed, so where else would you plant a seed but in a garden? He's in the tomb. But how many know that anything that's got life in it's not a tomb, it's got to be a womb? He's down there birthing souls that needed to hear something about who Jesus was. He told them in the Old Testament, I told you I was going to come for you. You were patient enough to wait for me. I got something for you that somebody else didn't get. He's hanging on a tree right now because he couldn't wait on me. But if you wait on me, I told you I was going to come get you. And the Bible says that he led captivity captive. And when he rose up with all power. And then he said, I'm not going to just keep it to myself because it's not a selfish thing. I'm going to leave it with you. So anytime that Judas wants to whisper in your ear and say, do it my way, you don't have to do it that way. Hang on to my plan and I'm going to work it out for you because you're already finished. I just need you to walk by faith. I didn't ask you to write it out. I didn't ask you to figure it out. I didn't ask you to die for it. I just need you to walk by faith. All that means is I want you to keep trusting me, even when it looks dark. Because it says between the third and the sixth hour it got dark. And man got afraid. But if you was sincere in Jesus, you said, oh, he getting ready to do his thing. In your darkest hour, you ought to be able to say, he's getting ready to do his thing. I'm getting ready to come out of this thing. Somebody's been on the cross too long. You didn't know there was a womb waiting for you. You was afraid to move because you thought it was a tomb, but it's a womb. You getting ready to be birthed into your ministry. You getting ready to be birthed into your business. You getting ready to be birthed into the good life. God's got a promise over your life. That's why so many of you escape death over and over and over again. You can't go before he's finished. You can't leave here till he's done with you. You got a job to do, and God's going to make sure you got everything to do with it. Oh my God. Judas is a setup, y'all. Judas is going to set you up. There is a way that seemeth right unto man, but the end thereof is the way of death. He's going to make you believe something. How many folk have hooked up with the wrong people because of what you heard? And even after God spoke to you, you still went with what you heard. God told you, don't go with him. They're not for you. But I love him. Then you was getting your head beat in, and then you was praying your way out. Well, God said, don't spend that money. Don't spend that money. That's my time money. Don't spend it. But I got to pay this bill, and I know you wouldn't want my lights out. Then you paid the bill, and the next month you had less money than you did before and still couldn't pay it, and the lights went out anyway. Because you're following another agenda. Because you don't understand, God has already got you. I don't care if it's healing. I don't care if it's money. I don't care what it is. He's already got you. That's why he said it's finished. My people don't have to suffer anymore. If they do because they're following somebody else's plan. But my plan is of victory. My plan is not of death. My plan is not of struggle and trouble. My plan is about overcoming. We are more than conquerors. We are not beneath, we are overcomers. But if we follow in our own way, your way's got it in because your life's got it in. Jesus has no end. Why not follow the one that can't never die? That never lost. All of us know what failure feels like. Jesus doesn't. All he wants is some trust. He don't want you just to believe. He don't want you just to read your word. I read my word 3 times today. So what? You don't believe none? What about the folk that read the word and they call somebody else and get another opinion? I read this word, but I don't know. What? I don't understand. Where were you when he was setting up the sun and the moon? Where were you when he was parting the waters? Where were you when he was calling land, land, and night, night, and the birds and the fish? Where were you at? That you should even compare yourself to give an opinion on the only thing that is true.
Come on now. Hey, God. Bless you, Jesus.
You know why? Because we've been raised on people's opinions. You've been raised on tradition. You've been raised on the way the world is. And the news don't help it because the news hypes everything. They don't show the good stuff that happens in the day, but they sure want to let you know all the murders that happen. They don't want to tell you how the little boy got rescued, but they do want to tell you about the 2 cops that got shot. Oh, it's tragic, but you know what? Life ain't that tragic for a believer. Life is good. Even when it looks rough, because it can always be better. Just try it without Jesus. See how much rougher it could be. God's got a plan. He just wants us to get in it. Some of us are still on milk when we ought to be on meat. Because we've been avoiding. Because we've been listening to Judas say you don't have to do all that. It don't take all that. You ain't got to do that fasting thing they do. You ain't got to come to church all the time. You don't have to do that. And so we're wondering why we're missing what we're missing. We're wondering how come we don't have the right job because you ain't living the right life. Wondering how come we keep car after car, we can't keep nothing. Because you won't keep Jesus long enough where he needs to be in your life for him to work it out. Count yourself blessed that God won't let you have everything you want. Because some of that stuff would kill you. Ask Judas. It'll take you somewhere you don't want to go. But God in his mercy and his grace has held on to us. And he's kept us even when we couldn't keep ourselves. He said, I'm going to hold on because I love you. All I want is for you to love me back enough to trust me. Trust me enough that I got you, even when you feel like you're falling. My God. His hand is there, even if you feel like you're slipping. But I just want to bring you some good gospel news that if you stay in the light of his word, the Bible says there's no stumbling. We stumble when we go according to our own minds. God is getting real tired of that because he's trying to bless some of us because he wants us to be a testimony. Amen. He can't give us a testimony. We can't be one. So from Sunday to Sunday, we look just as dead as we can. Amen. But I want you to practice something when you go home tonight. I want you to think about the Judas that hangs out with you. Yes, Lord. And each one of you know who it is or what it is. Yes, Lord. And then I want you to tell it you can't come no further with me. Amen. I got a cross I got to get to. Amen. Sorry, struggle, you can't come no further. Yes, habit, you can't come any further. Addiction, you can't come no further. Gossiping, I'm sorry, but you can't come no further. Always meddling, you can't come no further. Yeah. Phone calls, you can't come no further. I got somewhere I got to go and you don't count. You going to hinder me. You nothing but a setup. Because every time I would do right, you're present. And every time I would get with God, here you come. So you can't come any further with me. There's a cross waiting on me. And I'm not afraid anymore. I'm going to get there because I got to. Because just beyond the cross, there's a tomb and a womb. I'm going to turn my tomb into a womb. I'm not going to stay there either because resurrection power is going to get inside of me. And everything that was trying to hold me down, and everything that tried to keep me perplexed, I'm going to rise above it because of resurrection power. You couldn't hold Jesus down, and you can't hold me down either. Because Jesus lives on the inside of me, and there's no more me. There's nothing left of me. I'm going to lay it down, and when I lay it down, I'm picking up nothing but Jesus. I'm getting all the leaven out. It's out of the house now. The only bread that's going to rise after this is Jesus. Nothing else is getting up. Nothing else is going to speak higher than Jesus in my life. Nothing else is going to tell me what to do but the Spirit of God. But wherever the Spirit is, there's life. Wherever the Spirit of God rests, rules, and abides, you can't fail. You can only win. Aren't you tired of losing? Aren't you tired of going through? You're never going to come out if you don't abide with the Spirit.